Hello friends, I am Vikram from eZeon Technologies. Welcome to my Spring Framework project work series. In my previous video session, I discussed about the user login process, and in today's session, I am going to discuss about how to register a new user, which is nothing but a sign up process, right? So let's go through a set of steps we are going to follow here. So we need to prepare a registration form. The very first step will be we need a form will be displayed where user will enter all the details. So this is my preparation part. So I'm going to use user controller where I will add one method, registration form method. So this part is a preparation of the form. So a form will be displayed using this method, and now we required one user command will be mapped with the form fields. When user submit all the details in form, that data will be bind to the user command, right? And then when form is submitted, register user method will be called from a controller to take care the uh, registration process, to save the details entered by the user in registration form, right? Once it is done, we'll test this whole process, and now finally we'll check the exceptions. We'll handle the exception if anything goes wrong while registration process. So these are the steps I'm going to cover up here. So let's come to the coding. So check the controller here. So this is my user controller, and here I'm going to add here method handle login we have done. So we have prepared this login form using this index handle login. It is done. Now here I'm going to add few methods. So add here a method. This is public, and this will be your view. It's a registration form, and you need to provide a mapping here, and the mapping is already we have discussed this mapping here. The mapping will be reg form. So do the mapping here, request mapping, and I'm going to use here this URL reg form, and I will return here to a view, and my view will be reg form. This will be a JSP page. This will be a JSP page, and one important thing I required here a command. So I required here command. So I will come back here and continue this command. So I just want to display one page using this mapping. So create one JSP here. So this is my page where I can use, this is my view folder. So just registration form, a JSP I created here, and I will copy the layout from index page. Just a minute. This is my index page, and I can copy the contents here. Copy from index page. So just a moment, I can change this comment if required. So I just want to remove this. Okay, you can change it. So this is my user registration, and things will be same, and I can change here user registration. We can use this part. So I'm not going to remove this right now, but I can reuse this part. Just come to the further fields. Yes, we need to change this mapping here. So registration, this will be URL for registration, and what we have prepared here, what is the URL for the registration? This is the mapping reh register. Okay, this is ready. So register, and this is my URL. Okay, a command will be the name used here, no problem. I will come back here and continue this form. So I'm just going to write here some to do. This will be submit, and I don't require this. In fact, I have to add more fields here. To do. I will come back here and add more fields. So what we have done till now, we created a method here, we provided a link for this form, and a page will be displayed here. Now let me try this. So my URL is reg form, and look at this. I'm going to log out, and this is my link. Look at this. When you click on the register, a page will be displayed. So I need to link my recent form here using this inside the menu. So where you can link, you have one include page, which is your menu. So I can link here, right? So you can prepare a link. It's a good practice to prepare a link like this. So this is URL for registration form. It's a registration form URL, and the link will be reg form. Now add this here. Okay, this link is added. Now refresh the page here and check the link. When you click here, you will be taken to the page. Okay, something is wrong here. So what is wrong? We can read the error message. An exception occurred at line number 40. And what is line number 40? Okay, this login name, probably command is not there. Okay, neither binding result, look at the error message, this is very important, neither binding results or nor plain target object for this command. Okay, actually command is not associated with my request, so I required here command. So just a minute, come back and create one command. Without command I cannot use this form, so I can create a command inside this command package. So I'm going to use UserCommand here. And one important thing, the command has properties. Command class contains all the properties, which is much more similar to your form fields. So when you have 5 form fields, you required 5 properties here, right? But the similar thing we have seen in domain class. Just come back to the user domain class, and you can see the similar fields, the similar properties here, which is much more similar with the form fields. So we required name, phone, email address, login name, password. These will be the fields in your form, and similar things you will see in this user command. So there is a possibility to reuse this domain class in your command. It's a good idea, because unnecessary creating same properties again and again is not a good idea. So we can reuse here. So look at this, I'm reusing my domain class in the command. So this is a user, I'm going to name this user. So this is a good strategy to reuse your domains, right? In fact, if you require, you can add here, add more fields if required. So there can be possibility to have more number of fields in your form, but they are not in the database. So for example, you can have some checkbox where you can ask for the terms and condition agreement. So that field will be there in your form, but it is not there in your database. So such fields you can add here. So this command class can have some more number of fields, and we can reuse all the fields from the user. Okay, so it's a good idea. So I'm not using that, but I can reuse the user. Now generate here getter setter. Okay, this is ready, it's done. Now come back to the form and add fields one by one. So this is my registration form. Just a minute, I need to bind this, I forget to bind this. Come back here, and here I'm going to bind this command. So this is my model M. this is my binding. So this is add attribute, and this is command I'm using here, and I can create this command here, user command object. This is cmd and new user command, and bind here cmd. It's all done. Now this command is now bind with the model, which is accessible from the JSP page. Okay, so here you can use like the command you can use through the model attribute command, right? So this is not directly accessible. We have used here user dot username and user dot password. We cannot directly use login name because you can check the structure of your command. So username is not directly part of the user command, but it is part of the user object. So here you can see the login name and password, and it is part of the command. So inside the command you have to go into the user, then you can access the user related properties. So this is the trick you can follow here, user dot login name, user dot password. Rest of the fields I will add on. So just a minute, refresh this page. Now you can check this. Okay, so this is my user registration form where I have taken username, password, and few more fields I have to add here. Just a minute, one by one I can add all the fields. So here I can copy. This is the name, and the name will be user dot name. Okay, this is ready. I can check this, refresh this. Okay, so I can see here name field, username, and just a minute, this is name. Then I can add here phone number. So this is phone number. Then email address. This is email is a property in my domain. And then address. Address will be address property, but this will be your text area. So you can add this text area here. Fine. So check this. So we have got here name, phone, email, address, and this is username and then password. And I can remove this, not required. We have completed all the fields. Anything else required, just check it once. So go to the user, and we have taken name, phone, email address, login, password. Role and status will be internally managed, so I'm not going to add any field in form for role and status. Okay, so this is all set. Now the form is ready. This is the form ready, and when you submit this form, your request will be submitted to a URL. Just have a look at this. You can see this URL, register URL we have mapped here, but we have not added any mapping in controller, so I'm going to work for this. So just a minute, go to the controller and add a method here. I'm going to copy this. Okay, so this is my register method. And what is the method name you are planning for the login handling method? So the method is, we have already discussed. Okay, this is user controller dot register user. So this is the method I can use. Register user is a method. This method will be used, and I can read here form data from this model attribute. So at the rate model attribute command you can access here. The name of the command is command, and you can access here this user command. Okay, so this is the command object you have got here, and this time you don't require this. Okay, now you have got all the details in this. You have got the form details in this command, and you can access the user object from the command. So this is the user, and this user contains all the details. cmd dot, you can access the get user, right? So we have bind here user inside the command, and you can access that. and now this user is ready. It is containing all the user registration details. You have to pass this user object to the service layer. Now for that purpose, do you have service added here? Yes, it is available. Now you can just call a service method. So this is my user service instance, and now call a method here, register method, right? So this register method will receive user object and it will save it. So this is done. Now let me test this, and after registration I will go back to the I will redirect user to index page. So what is the URL of the index page? It's, I think, index. So the index will be, yes, index. So you can map to the index. This is your index page, and you can write one flag here to display the message, and the flag will be reg, right? So now once user is saved, we'll go to the login form. Okay, and this is not JSP, this is redirecting to a action, so this is not a JSP. We required exception handling here because the user registration can be failed here, so no problem, we'll do that in coming discussion. So for now I just want to show you how to register a user. This is my form, and I'm going to add here details. Varun Sinha, phone number I'm going to add here, an email address varun at ezeontech.com, and address will be Mumbai, and it's Varun, and Varun123 is a password. Okay, now submit this form. Okay, something went wrong. Data integrity constant violation exception. Okay, what is wrong? Okay, role cannot be null. Okay, so do one thing, come back here. We forget to add here few more details which is required. So you need to set here role, and the role will be, by default I will register here general user. So administrator will not be registered here, general user will be registered from this procedure. So we need to pass the role here from the constant. So user service interface has some constants here. So role is general user, and one more thing required here, user dot set login status. So by default when user is registered, it will be treated as a active member. So this is again user service dot login status active. So these two more properties we need to set here. Now user is ready, and I'm going to resubmit this form. So the password will be varun123, and submit this page. Okay, my user is registered, and you can check this. Look at the flag here, we have been taken back to the index page, and action is registration. So you came back to index page after registration. Now you can try this, you can check this in database. So we have added one user, refresh this, and this is the Varun Sinha we have added recently. This is the phone number, email address, and the address. After that we have got the login name and password, and role is 2. Yes, 2 means general user, and login status 1 represents active user. So this is done. And one important thing I can do in this, once user is registered, I can display here message user registered successfully. So for that I can go to the index page. So this is view, and this is the index page you can use here. Just a minute, and we can add here condition, sorry, yes, we can add this. Just copy here, and if the action is reg, you can display the message here. User registered successfully, you can display this message, and now please log in. Okay, so this is ready. So what I can do here, I can just check this using refresh action. Look at this, user registered successfully, please log in. So this message is displayed using the small condition through this flag. Okay, so this is enough for this discussion. In next video we'll talk about the exception handling part. We have skipped this one. We have completed step 1, 2, 3 and 4th, and this is the 5th one I'm going to cover up in next video, right? So 5th part is pending for next video. Thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thank you very much.